Okay, part 2 of the blog. Continue, Mr. T.
Well, let's see. Where do I start?
You're talking about a pitcher.
Well, yeah, Tim Stouffer, his father's name's Rick. But anyway, now, but
How about the school?
Enough baseball. Oh, now,
Kennedy
one of the
School.
great stops, and it really, people should talk to their community leaders if they've got a school that they don't know what to do with. They have the Kennedy elementary school. They converted it. Now, there's a school that used to be Mary C.I. Williams in Wilmington, and they raised it. And they shouldn't have. They should have made it into something like they did with the Kennedy Elementary School, which it had bars, it had meeting rooms, it had a like a spa, it had a lot of art around the building. They have a hotel. And Sonia, what else should I add?
Movie theater.
They have a movie theater, and it's one of the most unique things I've ever seen. The place is just buzzing, and they saved this school. And they have pictures of the former students and everything. And I talked to this lady. I mean, one of these, I'm kind of a shy guy, but occasionally I do talk to strangers. And I asked her about if any alumni come back, and she said quite often. So anyway, I just thought it was, pardon?
And you're going to come back for the prom.
Oh, that's right. And they're having a prom. And since Lori won't come back, there was a woman in a wedding dress today at the Rose Garden. And I was going to ask her to go to the prom, but my wife discouraged me. So anyway, it's just I just can't say enough about this stay. And we've got one more day. I don't know. I think Toby might be running out of ideas, but anyway.
You think?
Toby,
What about your real estate adventure?
Now, which one is this?
The one in Wyoming.
Oh, yes. Now, for any of you who are interested in buying land, Du Bois, Wyoming, which is near Jackson, about 40 miles from Jackson, about 40 miles from Yellowstone, should look into land in Du Bois, Wyoming. It's a little town of about 1,000, and right now it's starting to build up. There's a lot of neat cabins outside of town. The main street looks like an old western city, except with new wood.
Wow. I'm buying.
So
If that doesn't sell it,
and Laura and I think are thinking about taking all of our savings and starting a hotel there, and we're going to call it Tim Stouffer's Inn.
No, Recluse and
Oh yes, they were going to call somewhere between Recluse and Spotted Horse, which is another story.
and instead of B&B, you can call it B&T.
B&T.
Or Tomashek. You
Ben
can be the dog.
The double T?
The double T.
The double T, yes.
I like that.
Instead of the double tree, right? Isn't it? Okay, double T. That sounds good. And but anyway, this has been. I've been giddy. I've been having so fun.
So, Mr. T, how many animals did you hit coming across? You personally?
I did not hit any. Now there was a misfortunate incident right before we hit the interstate. My wife ran over a bunny.
Thumper.
The late Thumper, and she's been quite ill since we've gotten here.
It was a hair-raising experience.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, God, Toby, you have created.
Toby, now, I'd like maybe this will be a chance for you to sell Portland to those out there.
I don't.
Other name, but
You need to see.
no, but I want you to tell them how we seem to enjoy the city. What do you think our reaction has been to the city?
It's been pretty easy.
Would
All I
it
had
been
to do
very easy?
Pretty easy.
Very easy?
Very.
It's impacted
Personally,
us. It's impacted personally, I think.
I think they thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and actually, they did get an exceptionally beautiful day. You could see both mountains at the same time, and I mean, it's always lush green here. I haven't. There hasn't been a time of the season where I got here and it was brown or anything like that. So, anybody who likes flora and unique buildings and
neat eateries.
is just gonna love this place.
And
Coffee
if you want to,
Coffee shops.
and Pal's books, let me tell you,
There's a book on the. In
there's
fact, it's probably gone.
there's
by
a
now.
book for you somewhere in there. All you got to do is look for the number.
So what about?
Okay.
How about the trip leading up to Portland?
The trip across from we considered having begun from middle of South Dakota at my wife's farm, a brother's farm. Actually, my wife is a South Dakota land baron. And stop it, she said. But anyway, it was a great trip across Wyoming and Idaho and then into Oregon. Oregon was neat, and it's just there hasn't been a bad day. There hasn't been one bad day. Yellowstone was fantastic. Did run into another interesting little side bit was we got stopped by
How about
during
artistic
construction.
point?
Artistically, it's magnificent. I mean, the mountains, all the terrain, and the changes in terrain are wonderful. But we got stopped by a construction lady that was stopping traffic, and we started talking during the lull. And it turns out she's from Springfield, Minnesota. And I told her that a friend of mine and I had done a book on the Minnesota baseball, amateur baseball, and included Springfield in it. And I told her some of the names, and it turns out a bunch of them were her teachers. So, anyway, that's about all. I can't.
Has he done 3 plugs? 3. What about your new book?
Oh, well, the new book, the new book is one I'm really looking forward to being involved with. Ken Kilty, a former baseball player in Minnesota, and a wonderful guy and a wonderful. In fact, he and his wife Barb were wonderful host and hostess to us, and anyway, we're doing this book on Edgerton, Minnesota. It's a little town, 961 population at the time. They won the 1960 Minnesota State title in basketball with only one division, and there are 2 high schools in Edgerton. And anyway, the book's going to be about particularly about the winning season and all the players involved and the celebration involved.
I'll start again.
That's it.
I haven't done it in a while.
I've run out of words, but anyway, truly, it's been a wonderful stay.
Tomorrow, Mr. and Mrs. T will be here for one more day. What are we down to? A minute?
Yeah, well, 2.
They'll be here one more day.
Tomorrow I'm sending them to, I have to work, but Toby's going to take them to Lloyd Center, which, yes, it's a mall, but it's the location of Joe Brown Caramel Corn, which has been there since I was a kid, and the mall was outside, which it's not anymore. And there's an ice skating rink, and you go and you get yourself caramel corn, and you sit there and you watch the ice skaters, and it's pretty sweet. So, no puns intended.
And what is it? So, what cool is it?
It's super cool.
Super cool.
Super cool. Yes.
Super cool. And to my wonderful kids, Tracy, Tyler, and Toby,
And Brett.
and Brad.
Brett, I did nothing to encourage this.
I want to say that I miss you guys dearly. I miss all the grandchildren. Just really miss them. And, of course, so does Lori. But we will be back on the 5th and looking forward to seeing everyone as soon as possible.
Say bye, Mrs. T.
Bye.
Wave bye. Bye-bye, folks. We'll talk to you soon.